By now, I'm sure most of y'all have already watched that cinematic masterpiece that I put out cleaning up that little Bailey Victor 12.5. Saw me drop these parts into this Evaporust, and just in case you didn't see it, here's a little snippet. And of course, I want to take this opportunity to encourage everyone to go back and watch that video. Some folks might argue that, for example, this nickel plating is delaminating or flaking off. And there might be some folks that might argue that that's the Evaporust that did that. I can assure you that it's not. That stuff would have come off regardless. It was already loosening up. The Evaporust did not remove that, or didn't cause that to loosen by any means. The rust getting up underneath it is what caused that. But you can see that obviously the rust is gone. That's kind of the purpose of Evaporust. And then where the nickel plating is still intact, it's nice and clean and it looks halfway decent. But where there is no nickel plating, of course, you get that dull gray color that everyone tends to dislike about Evaporust. And I guess while we're at it, we might as well see what we can do about that. I did a little bit off camera with each piece so that we can come back and show y'all a couple different things. All I've done with this one so far is just, specifically with this side, is just hit it with the wax and the steel wool some more. And again, you know, it's up to you as far as, are you trying to retain as much of the nickel plating, or do you think that looks weird to have some of it on there and some of it gone? And then of course, if you're not a fan of the gray, the dull gray, then you want to get rid of that from the Evaporust. So we're working that wax into there, and if that's your goal, you know, we're going to try and get rid of that gray so it's not that dull gray. And then back here, you know, we've got quite a bit that's loose. You know, I think I already talked about that. But for demonstration purposes, what I did is I took this one and I have my brass wire wheel, and I went ahead and hit that. Pretty much the nickel plating is gone, but at least it has more of a uniform finish now. And the same argument applies, you know, why even soak it in Evaporust if you're just going to hit it with a brass wheel? But again, I'm just kind of demonstrating some different options here for y'all, just, you know, in case you haven't done a whole lot, or maybe you're on the fence about Evaporust, or maybe you haven't tried a brass wheel yet. These are just some of the different options that you can go with. Again, uniform finish, more or less, after the brass wire wheel. And then with this one, what I did is, again, off camera, just hit this with some 220 sandpaper. And, you know, just so it's not all off camera, I'll show y'all what I did. You know, just taking this 220, and it brings up that same discussion of, two discussions. One, you know, how much of the nickel plating are we attempting to retain? And then, you know, if I'm just going to sandpaper it anyway, why not just skip the Evaporust and go straight to the sandpaper? It's really a judgment call on your part. It all depends on the look that you're going for. But that's that side after some 220 grit. And, you know, if you can tell the difference in the camera here, that gray, the dull gray, is pretty much gone, along with the nickel plating that was there. And then here's the other side. You can see the gray is still there. But if I was to hit that with the 220 as well, it would pretty much look like that. And at this point, you know, if I was to go ahead and hit this down here, or even just hold off on that, and in the process of sharpening this to get it ready for use, you know, obviously that's going to go ahead and clean that up as well. So I could hit this other side and make it look the same, you know, probably be able to keep a lot of this nickel plating if that was the goal. But y'all see what I'm getting at. And at this point, what I will probably do is just leave these with a light coat of oil on them overnight, and then come back and look at them again tomorrow, and then just kind of make my decision from there as far as what all I'm going to do to them. And the next time one of y'all hits me up for number 45 parts, you know, you need that slitter or that depth stop or both or whatever, you know, this will probably be in the lineup that you get to see. You'll probably never hear me claim to be an expert on this stuff. I just, this is really about generating discussion, whether it's here on YouTube or over on Facebook, just plain fun, the parts division. By all means, come over, drop your comments, and a lot of these discussions have been hashed and rehashed on Facebook already. But in case you want to add something more, you want to ask any questions, you want to engage the crowd, whatever, feel free. Again, here on Facebook, or excuse me, here on YouTube or over on Facebook, just plain fun, the parts division. I look forward to hearing from y'all, and as always, thanks for watching. Oh, hey, by the way, the stickers are coming. This is a sample. This was a little bigger, I think, than what they're going to be. These are going to be $2 a piece. They'll be free with any order over $100. They're going to be free with a t-shirt once I get to that point. But for now, they're just going to be $2 a piece. And of course, you can order one with your order or by itself. Looking forward to getting these out there.